Taylor Swift is more than a singer. She's a storyteller who divided her life into eras, each one with a new sound, a new color, and a new chapter of her soul. From the teenage country girl with curly hair and a guitar to the global icon filling stadiums with light, Taylor has turned her career into a living timeline of evolution. This is the story of Taylor Swift's eras, how every album became a reflection of who she was, what she felt, and what she refused to hide. It all began in 2006. A young girl from Pennsylvania released her debut album simply called Taylor Swift. With songs like Tim McGraw and Teardrops on My Guitar, she became the voice of teenage heartbreak, innocence, and dreams. Her music was raw, written straight from her diary, and that honesty made people listen. She wasn't trying to be a superstar. She just wanted to tell stories. But that was the start of something the world had never seen before. Then came 2008, the Fearless era. Taylor was still a teenager, but her songs had grown deeper. Love Story and You Belong With Me became global anthems of young love and hope. Fearless won her 4 Grammy Awards, including Album of the Year, making her the youngest artist to ever win that honor at the time. With her golden curls and sparkly dresses, she became country music's brightest star. But behind the glitter, Taylor was learning that fame comes with its shadows. In 2010, she released Speak Now, an album entirely written by her alone, no co-writers, just her words and melodies. It was a declaration of independence. Songs like Back to December and Dear John showed a more mature side of Taylor, emotional, reflective, but unapologetically honest. This was the era where Taylor learned to take control of her story before others could twist it. The purple dresses, fairy tale stages, and confessional lyrics marked the moment she became the author of her own destiny. Then in 2012, Red arrived, and everything changed. It was the sound of growing up, the sound of heartbreak, confusion, and intensity. Taylor described Red as a heart broken in a million colors, and that's exactly what it felt like. From We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together to All Too Well, she captured the pain of losing love and the beauty of remembering it. Red wasn't just an album, it was an emotion, and it began to blur the lines between country and pop. It was Taylor's bridge between two worlds. 2 years later, in 2014, she crossed that bridge completely. The 1989 era began, and Taylor Swift became a pop powerhouse. Gone were the guitars and country twang. In came synthesizers, neon lights, and bold beats. Shake It Off, Blank Space, and style ruled radio everywhere. She transformed from Nashville sweetheart to global pop queen. 1989, didn't T just win another Album of the Year Grammy? It rewrote the rules of reinvention. Every artist dreams of evolving, but few do it so completely and successfully. Taylor did it with confidence and creativity. But fame brings storms. By 2016, after public feuds and social media battles, the world's perception of Taylor shifted. Headlines called her fake, manipulative, or overexposed, and then silence. For over a year, Taylor vanished. No interviews, no posts, no appearances. People wondered if her career was over. But in 2017, she returned like a phoenix with reputation. Dressed in black, surrounded by snakes, she embraced the hate and turned it into art. Songs like Look What You Made Me Do and Ready For It showed a darker, more self-aware Taylor. It was a warning and a statement. The old Taylor might be gone, but the new one was unstoppable. The Reputation era proved that reinvention isn't about pleasing others, it's about surviving. After fighting battles and reclaiming her power, Taylor found peace again. In 2019, she released Lover, an explosion of color, kindness, and joy. It was the rainbow after the storm, an album about love in all its forms, romantic self-love and acceptance. Songs like Lover and You Need to Calm Down celebrated compassion and equality. Her pastel-themed visuals and open heart reminded fans that vulnerability could still shine brighter than hate. Lover was the sound of healing. But just when fans thought Taylor might slow down, she shocked everyone again. In 2020, during the pandemic, she dropped 2 surprise albums, Folklore and Evermore. These records were unlike anything she'd done before, soft, indie folk masterpieces filled with storytelling and imagination. Gone were the stadium anthems. In their place came haunting tales of fictional characters, heartbreak, and nostalgia. Folklore won yet another Album of the Year Grammy. making Taylor the first woman in history to win that award 3 times for solo albums. The Folklore Evermore era showed her artistic depth, proof that she could thrive even without the spotlight. Then, in 2021, Taylor began re-recording her old albums, creating Taylor's version. This was more than just music. It was a revolution.
Oh.
By re-recording her masters, she reclaimed ownership of her art and her story. It was a lesson in power, independence, and standing up for yourself. The new versions of Fearless, Red, and Speak Now brought nostalgia and pride to millions of fans. When Red Taylor's version came out, the 10-minute version of All Too Well broke the internet and made history again. In 2022 and 2023, Taylor entered the Midnight's era, exploring sleepless thoughts, fame, love, and self-reflection. Songs like Anti-Hero and Bejeweled showed her playful yet honest perspective on growing older in the spotlight. Midnights became one of the fastest-selling albums of the decade, and its visuals sparkled with midnight blues and glittering stars. By 2025, Taylor Swift had completed the Tortured Poets Department, her most poetic and introspective project yet. It wasn't just about heartbreak, it was about art, words, and human complexity. Critics called it her literary masterpiece. With that, Taylor entered her most respected creative phase, blending music, writing, and direction into one complete artistic identity. But beyond the eras, what keeps Taylor Swift loved IS&T just her albums? It's her connection to people. She remembers fans' names, hides Easter eggs in every video, and turns concerts into shared emotional experiences. Her Eras tour became the highest-grossing tour in history, proving her bond with Swifties is stronger than ever. Taylor's career is more than music. It's a living story of resilience, creativity, and heart. From Tim McGraw to the Tortured Poets Department, every song she's written is a chapter, and every chapter begins with truth. Taylor Swift taught the world that you don't need permission to evolve. You can start over again and again, each time more powerful than before. Her eras are not just about albums. They're about transformation, of sound, of self, of strength. As the lights dim on each stage and the crowd echoes her lyrics, one thing is clear: Taylor Swift's story isn't just hers anymore. It belongs to millions who've laughed, cried, and healed through her words. And in every era to come, one truth will remain. Taylor Swift will always find new ways to turn life into music and music into magic.